After 1,600 years of history, Mondstadt's freedom had sunk to a heretofore unseen low. Barbados, unwilling to become a tyrant, had departed, but he had never imagined that those to whom he had gifted freedom would make for themselves a tyrant. The aristocracy ruled Mondstadt with a cruel hand, bringing slaves into this land and ignoring the cries of the oppressed. Thus, the Animal Archon returned after 1,600 years to what was once the City of Freedom. He heard the cry of the slave girl Vanessa, and together with her raised a rebellion that overthrew the aristocracy. Now, the above is what all know to be the official history of Mondstadt. The story has a little interesting, little unknown twist, however. The one who united the people of Mondstadt in this conflict was indeed the hero Vanessa, but that which caused many of the aristocracy's troops to turn coat was a treachery against the wind. A secret treaty was found, a betrayal of the city. The aristocrats had forsaken the wind and sold everything in Mondstadt to the Geo-Archon of the neighboring land. At the treaty's end was carved an insignia inimitable by all save the deity so named, Rex Lapis. How the soldiers that had once oppressed the slaves shuddered when they saw that they too would become slaves in a foreign land. The news and the conflict spread like wildfire, consuming the aristocracy. It was only many years later that the historians would discover that the treaty was fake. As it turns out, Venti had once practiced the art of forgery in order to play pranks on the Geo-Archon, but could never deceive the god of wealth and transactions. Even so, his adeptness would come into play after several hundred years. What a happy coincidence. There is a towering oak tree at the center of Windrise, said to have sprouted when Vanessa ascended to the heavens a millennia ago. In the past few months, travelers resting in the shade of the great oak sometimes hear a young boy singing the tales of Barbados, the Animal Archon. Unlike the ruling deities of the other nations, Barbados had long left Mondstadt. In fact, the only visible proof of his connection with Mondstadt is the statues of the Seven that appear across the land. Even then, the resemblance is vague at best. Barbados's past deeds are recorded in books and epics, sung and passed on by the bards. In contrast to these more canonical works, Venti's ballads tend to include bizarre adventures and acts of mischief, such as the time that Barbados pinched the Cryo-Archon's specter and replaced it with the Hilly Charles Wooden Club. Worshippers of Barbados are quick to decry these frivolous tales as blasphemous fabrications. But whenever someone confronts Venti about this, his response suggests that he has not an ounce of remorse. How could you know that they're fabrications? He has a point. Even the most devoted sister could not possibly know the details of all of Barbados's deeds from a millennia ago. Only Venti knows the truth behind his song lyrics, and it is a truth he hides behind an enigmatic smile. Reason being, yes, Venti's tales of Barbados's unorthodox exploits are entirely fabricated. Hey, Venti finds that a few drinks really gets his muse going. Can you really blame him?